welcome back. Today we are going to be painting our Skaven Rattling gun team. I have three of these, so this is just like my guy here for reference. So what it's gonna kind of end up being, it's an old model, so it's a little basic, but you know how it is. So let's get our first. Let's start with the tails. So we'll use our pale flesh, like we do. I don't have the paint plan in front of me either, so we're gonna have to see if I can remember how I did most of this. It's been a while. But we have this guy over here to use as our reference. GW did some cool stuff. They have kind of announced a new faction, or it's like it's like a new faction. It's vampires, and they look pretty cool. They're in armor and everything. So I'm probably gonna get them. So now, I like to have one of every army, of every faction, so that I have, this is my chaos faction. So currently I have Flesh Eater Quartz, so I'm gonna try to sell those guys off, and then be able to buy the new models with it. And those guys are all fully painted and everything too, so we'll see. I mean, I'm still gonna buy them anyway, the new army, so regardless if I sell it or not, I will be painting those vampires. So far they look good. If they end up changing them or something and it doesn't look as good as I originally thought, then I'll change my mind. But so far, I'm kind of into it. I also I don't really want to play Flesh Eaters, even though I haven't played them yet. Like I bought them January 2020 after LVO, and then so we're gonna do our skin next. We're gonna get our medium C grade for this skin. But I haven't played them because COVID happened. So, but I kind of was like, I got them and I like them. They're cool looking. But I really like the Night Haunt more now, just how they look. And I've already painted a Night Haunt on this channel. I painted him like Skeletor, and I painted him to ally into my army of Flesh Eater Quartz. So I don't know, I might, if the vampires turn out not looking as cool, then I'll probably go to Night Haunt instead. So either way, new models to paint. So we're just going in here and we're picking out all the fur and stuff from these guys. Trying our best not to get the black, because black is our clothing color for these guys. Just double checking here. Oops. This one has a hat on. He has a different head. Ooh, difference. So it's funny when you find like the little differences in some of these models. Skaven I have played. I haven't finished building my army yet, but I played like a little bit of it. I haven't finished painting it. I built it. So I have played with them. They're fun. They're a little unreliable, like old school orcs, where you're like, oh, I can blow up at any time. But it's fun with these guys. I feel like, is that his hand? I think this is his hand. time. And if I can finish these guys, I mean, who would have thought quarantine was going to be a year? But, oops, I gotta clean that up, but we'll still get there. But, I mean, if I keep going with these guys, I just make a push to finish the Skaven, then I'll have finished all my armies over quarantine, painting them and all that stuff, so that'll be cool. I'm also a little worried because then I'll be out of models for the channel to paint for a bit, but I'll just have to go buy some more. Again, man, if you guys have any suggestions of models that you'd like to see painted, or like even if it's like something I haven't painted on the channel yet, a game that I haven't painted on the channel yet, go ahead and throw a recommendation in the chat, and I'll check it out, because I'm here to show you guys how to paint quickly and effectively, so hopefully it'll be more relevant to you then. Get down there because his foot's like in there. Okay, so that's this one. So let's get the other guy. He looks like he is not wearing pants. I think these guys are the same on both of the models that I have. Get his foot. Let's remember it's okay for us to hit the ground because we are painting it gray. We're like dry brushing it gray. And then a little bit more moisture in it. Kitty. He's sad today because today's the day we stopped giving him wet food because he's not really a kitten anymore, and he's sad because he loves it, but maybe we're hoping it makes him less food aggressive because he's very aggressive right now with food. Like yesterday he snatched a sushi roll out of my fiance's hand and he knocked like a cup of dip on the floor, made a giant mess. I was like, what's going on, man? We feed you, we give you everything. It's crazy. So this one's gonna be a little bit more messy because of how he's posed and everything, but we'll be able to clean that up. I forgot to get that ear on our other guy, so I just grab that really quick. These older models, some of them, man, they're pretty rough. Wish they would redo a lot of these older models, especially for Skaven. Like we need better the poison wind globe thrower guys, because right now they're metal and they're expensive. Okay, let's just do that. Let's see what we have to do now. Let's get all the silver done. Yeah, and then we'll go to the, okay, so let's get the gunmetal. Boop, gunmetal. You see, we got some of this stuff, the inside of the guns, the inside of the thingy. Okay, just kind of getting a feel for what we're painting here. So we got the crank here. So let's get that painted. I've got these little orby orbs here. Which, I mean, looking back on it, should probably be, these should probably be the green, but we've gotten too far. What color? Okay, I did that for the hose. And we just got like the random bobs and bins on here. Yeah, just make sure we're good. Okay, just like the gauge and like these little guys. We'll have to go back on those. We do the whole thing, but there's that. And then now for the rattling gun, we're doing most of the unders. So that would be like there, all of this. I like the cartoony flaredness of the barrels of this thing. Like how they all kind of cone out. It's hilarious. That's the handle. Okay. Let's go in here. You can always hit it with the bronze when we get in there. So we're not too worried about hitting other stuff right now. Okay, let's make sure we got the tops of everything and the bottoms here. I mean, not that anyone's going to be flipping this over and looking at it, but it's for us. And that and that. Okay. Now let's get our leather brown. For just a little, we have like little straps on in here for this guy. And then this I think is a rope. I painted it differently on the other guy, but for this guy we'll paint it the right colors. If he has one. No, he doesn't have a strap on him. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. But this guy, we can get these straps in here, painted with the brown. Like that. And then he's got a little something right here, so this could be the strap. put it there. Huh. It doesn't really go anywhere unless it's right here. Oh, it's kind of hidden. It goes under this, but then kind of pops out right here. Fine, it's fine. Let's go back into our gray really quick and clean those spots back up. Okay. Now let's go to our brass. Brassy brass. Start getting the big chunks. Oh yeah, it might be kind of hard to start digging really into these guys because of the shortage of the black paint right now. We'll see as we kind of get more into this series. This whole top piece right here is painted. I'll put that there. They don't all have to be exactly the same. I think that's a tube of, warp stuff around it, so let's just kind of lightly go in there. Get that side. Then we gotta get like these little gears and knickknacks and stuff that are on here, just to break up all the different sections in there. Get the handle. And we get these little clamps on the barrel. I mean on the hose. And actually right here too, there's this little piece on him. It's on his arm. We'll get that. We'll get this little piece of hose here. More clamp. And we'll paint this whole kind of jack-in-the-box rig thingy. Right there. We gotta get the backpack and these little pieces that hold the globes. And we'll just go back over the silver. It's easier. Okay, so that covers our bronze. I'm gonna go back to the gunmetal color and just clean up all of this stuff. Just get right there, this guy, paint that. We're good there, that is looking good. Here, because we didn't get on this side, let's just clean that really quick. Okay. Then for the hose, We use the black gray. So use our black gray. I think that's what that is. It's kind of what it looks like. It's the problem with doing these things so long. Taking a while to keep doing models. I have it written down, but of course I didn't look at it before I started. So we'll paint the hose here. There. Gotta get this guy here. Go back. Okay, the hose is painted now. What color did I paint his belt? Silver. But I can, okay, so let's just get back on the silver really quick because he has like a little metal belt here. Let me get some of this and then just kind of clean up the area. All right. So now let's clean up our blacks with our black paint. If I have any in here. It's lasting a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's definitely on its last legs. Make sure like the front is as clean as we can get it. Gotta get under this chin here. I missed his little thingy. I'll have to go get that in a second. Clean up there, clean up here. And this guy has quite a bit of cleanup that we have to do here. Just clean up his little hood. Clean up all of that. Looks good, looks good. Sometimes there's only so much you can do with these older models too. There's not a lot of detail on them for you to kind of follow for some of it. If you're creative, you can go in there and kind of make your own detail, but we are not. So, all right, cool. So that's that. Now let's move on to the dry brushing. Let's get our big old dry brush here. First, let's get the base dry brush. So we're just kind of going through here and texturing out all the little sand that we have on here. So it looks kind of like pavement, like they're in a city they had just burrowed into. Now you can kind of just lightly go over the black spots, because those will be dry brushed also. get. Then we go to a lighter color. We're gonna go to the ghost gray, which is here. And we're gonna make sure we get the skin with this as well as the black. It's a much lighter gray. Just kind of lightly touch the model with it. You don't need to go crazy. It'll pull off where it needs to pull off the paint. And just get lightly on here. Okay. Now we wash. So let's go with the Rattling flesh for the tail and the bronze, and everything else will get the Nuln oil. So let's just fill this brush up, get those guys hit. This is going to make our bronze really pop on and shine on the model. Make sure we're getting it. Tail. Okay. Covers that. Now we get our Nuln oil. Ooh, I'm running out of this. Or maybe not. Maybe I have some over here. Just get it on the rest of the model. It's going to dirty these guys up a bit, like they've been underground. It's going to... Don't worry, I know I still haven't done the warp lightning stuff yet. That will be done. I just have to do this first because this is more messy. Just move this stuff around. Make sure you're hitting all the silvers and the grays. Okay. Oh, yeah. Some of those, like just make sure we're tapping. Okay. So now we go into the warp lightning. finishing bit of it. We need a nice little brush for this part because this stuff gets everywhere. And we're using a Scorpina green. It's a nice bright green that I use for this step. Okay. And then we're gonna start getting the lines laid. See, it got a little bit in there, but it'll kind of look like a shine a little bit when we're done here. Let's get that. Where else is it? Let me check it. Okay. There's a little. Put it right there. And then lastly, it's their eyes. Have the green because they're, oops, they are completely corrupted by the warp. And there we have our warp Gatling gun. I gotta clean that up. That's gonna bug me if I don't. So let's get back into our brush here, get our gray, and then clean up like here. Let's just kind of scoop it out as best we can. And that'll kind of wet blend it a bit out of this. The black for this part. And we'll just move it around like that. Okay. Then for the brass on the Gatling gun here, we'll just kind of move it along with a wet brush to kind of maybe it'll dry a little bit more glowy in there. And then same thing for here. Just kind of put some of our silver back in there. Here we go. Looks a lot better. So there is our, let's clean that face up, huh? Just do it right here. There. And there we have our Skaven Rattling gun. Get out on the... Oops. Let's put this one back up there. Thanks for watching. New videos every Wednesday. And thanks for tuning in.